Alright, so what does my birth name mean, right? Well, Shayne can mean gift from God or God is gracious. Or gifted by God. Okay. Lee, though, has several different meanings, too. Sheltered from the storm, something like that. Now, it's more popular, guess who, among Asians? Asians, right? Then white people is 36, and then Africans are 16.3. See? Now, there are 700,002, right? 625 people who have that surname, too, right? Now, it could be spelled two ways because in the English it's two words, actually, right? Ed meaning wealth, prosperous, fortune, and ward from where, which means guardian, protector. It's also a gypsy name, right? Like I said earlier. So, in the Hebrew, it can mean in itself a witness, right? Like I said, right? It can also mean healer. Uh-oh. Now, Lee's also a royal Chinese name from the Tang Dynasty. Uh-oh. You need to calm down. All right. Can also mean clearing. Like you're coming to a clearing in the woods, right? Okay. Direct. Or plum tree. I ain't telling you I'm a tree, you're a tree, they're a tree, we're all a tree. Okay, I'm a plum tree. Psychic or not, right? Now, this is how you kind of write it in the Hebrew. Though it's actually English, but because it's flipped, right, it's actually written correctly in Hebrew. In order to write it correctly, I had to write it backwards. So, Aleph with an A, D, W, A. See, there's no, this can be Vav or W, with the Aleph behind it, right, for the vowel A, R, D. Now, really, it's backwards, but because everything is forwards and backwards are mirrored, right, I wrote it backwards in Hebrew to get it right. Right? So it's clearing in the woods. Like I told you about, I dreamed of a girl in the woods who looked Asian, right? Okay, right. Now, this is Ed, which also means a witness, right? And it's just all in and dalit, or D. And it too has the same vowel as the, again, Aleph or the ayin, right? Now, some of this is found on www.babyconnector.com in the UK. But the name can mean a few different things depending on its origin. Now, say, again, Genghis Khan went as far as Europe, right? So that would be Chinese or Lee. Gypsies, of course, use the name Lee. And again, English and Irish. use the name Lee, right? And it means something a little different. But generally, right, it's a well-known name like Bruce Lee or, again, right. Oh, there it is. The cone head alien. Right, Dan? Right. You got it right, man. Exactly. I don't think you meant to, but hey, once in a while you hit or strike gold, they say. I know. But that's why I sung like Julia the Dan impersonator or whatever. My ears are alive for the sound of music. I do. And I'm just trying to make people laugh and have a real good time, sir. So, clearing or meadow as well. Or field. In other words, what do you come to when there's a clearing in the woods? A field. So, depending on how you want to interpret it, right? Right. These are all the definitions and ways to spell my name, right? You can also spell it L-I-Y in the Hebrew, right? Which is simply Lee. And Shayne can also mean ivory, because that's found in the Song of Solomon, right? S-H-E-N, right? Now, when you spell it that way, it means spirit, right? In Chinese, right? Right. Now, the Holy Spirit, okay, right? Chinese people, shit, is what Jesus is talking about. in him, and us all. That's what raised him from the dead, right? I don't know. See, there's one with the suture, and there's one without, right? That one don't have the suture, right? We have the suture. The alien hybrid didn't, right? See, no suture. So that's the cone head alien. Again. I don't think you meant to, Lauren, but got it right. It's called a coincidence. Whether you knew it or not. And see, I'm not trying to put people down who do this, but that's called head binding, right? And it elongates the skull like the alien skulls. Now, I'm sure you had some reason. That's the human one, right? So, I've been watching this show, right? I don't know what you're watching on TV, but this is what the Bible says happened. The alien had sex with the girl, the daughters of Adam, right? And produced hybrids. That could be one of the hybrids. But why are they allowed by grace, right? But yet still sin, right? One is what? Condemnation, right? Two is what, right? You can't have sex with anything. Even an alien from outer space. What does that tell you, people? Commit or have sex. But you're having sex with a person who can give you STD or whatever, and that's why be careful. That's all they can tell you. Right? Now, why do they make you wait for marriage? I don't know. Well, because you can have sex with anyone, right? Technically, yeah. Now, could I have molested my stepmother? Sure. Would I have? No, I would have protected her, because I don't know why she would rape me up in the middle of the night anyway, right? Unless she's confused. See. But I do know the 4 reasons are what? Eat, drink, pee, or a bath. One of them could involve a little, you know what I mean? Making that part up, right? Sure. But, if it were to, what I'm doing is making sure, one, if I were to undress her, right, and she were to hang out, right, and not go pee, right, Okay, I have to smell her, right? And like I told you, I have a reason for making that up. I had a girl that actually kind of mess with me when I came home with her mom the next morning, right? And put her crotch in my face when I was laying on the floor watching TV waiting for her to cook some breakfast, right? Now, around that time, the next door neighbor came in, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know, right? And again, right, she's the one to get the daughter to get her crotch off my lips so she had on underwear. Whatever that meant, right? But again, and if I'm alone with the stepdaughter, and that's the point here, I don't know if happened or not, but it was, there's a reason I'm doing that if she don't go pee and hang out, right? Right? I mean, there too, right? So, we're making up a story, though, right? No one can verify the story without entrapment being involved either, because I'm where? Sleeping on the couch. When you're sleeping on the couch, here's the problem with that, right? I'm not trying to molest anyone on the couch. You can't. If the daughter's with the mom, what did I tell you? Right. You cannot even attempt for fear of waking up the mom. You did, right? To touch the daughter anyway. I wouldn't even be the one to give her a bath. Technically, it should be her mom, right? You see what I mean? Because I was sleeping on the couch. Why? She was trying to turn the seat. Exactly, right? All I've been telling you since day one, right? So, all right. Now, if she did wake me up, this is probably what would really happen. I would freak out, ask her who shot her dad, bring her back to her mom, and tell Daphne, hey, your daughter woke me up. And said, Grandma showed her that, right? Which, that sounds suspicious, don't it? That. There's another party, Daddy-O, the biological dad, who also had contact with the girl, who also knew my ex-wife, who also had his own girlfriend or wife, whatever he was living with, somewhere in Norfolk somewhere, right? Whereas me and my wife were in Portsmouth, right? Again, I never met the man either, right? Now, I don't know if Daphne told him about our intimate details or not, right? But I do lick sometimes if you're into it. So we don't have to lick. That's up to you, right? Some girls like it, some girls don't, right? That's no problem either, right? But if you want to try it first, I'm game, right? That's all I'm saying, right? You can ask and receive. And I've learned the little details. I know what parts of the, are most sensitive, right? And how to gently, but also maybe buzz it a little bit on the outside and then the top. What's at the top, ladies? The C word. Not the word, but the C word. The other little word. L-I-T word. Which is your equivalency to our penis. It has a sensitive spot, but guess where it's at? On the bottom. Right. So, let's go back to where we're at now. Only Daddy-O or someone crazy over me and my ex-wife, and then I can tell Daffy's not, acting quite the same, so I safely try to move back to base by either Friday or Monday anyway, right? So, someone came on YouTube, right? Bringing all this up as if they knew I molested the stepdaughter, and that's started calling me a pedophile, right? Though it does mean foot lover. I'm not a foot lover. So I don't mind the feet, right? The feet are part of the body, right? And like Paul said, all parts of the body have a part. Even your uncomely parts have a part in the body, right? That's your penis and your vagina, which is your uncomely parts, right? See, they didn't have words for the penis except to call it the fruit or seed shooter. It's the fruit of the male's body, according to Song of Solomon, and the seed of the man, right? To impregnate the female. They didn't know about the egg either. Though by faith, Moses said what? Two shall be one flesh. Well, the sperm goes into the what? Egg. They join together and you become what? A baby, a boy, or a girl. Mm-hmm. Now, this is just hard scientific fact. Transgender people. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, right? You're the equivalent of a eunuch. But today's modern version of it. You know what I mean? If you're cutting it all off and trying to look like a woman, you're kind of neither male nor female. But the thing is, like I said, not everybody wants to have sex with someone who's neither sex now, right? Now, some want a woman, some want a man, some want both, some don't mind transgender people, right? But it's your choice, right? Jesus came to give you a choice. Yeah. And to forgive yourselves. See your mistakes. That's another problem. Okay. We don't forgive each other like Russia and Ukraine for the invasion of Russia and Ukraine, right? Ukraine's fighting back. Russia's fighting to get the little port. And Ukraine wants to keep the little port. It's all about the little port, right? You see what I mean? And they're fighting over it like cats and dogs, right? But what's the point about a cats and dogs? Even cats and dogs, I know this because I had some, can live together in peace. But you gotta want to. Now, you could divide the port in half. That's the solution. I don't know. Right. Like Jerusalem is divided in 3 quarters, but who cares, right? And the Jewish quarter is now the capital. Okay. Right. But she's the slave mother, like Hagar. Mm-hmm. The Arabs, the Christians, and the Jews all want a piece. Just like Mary Pope. Split it in 2. You give Ukraine one side, Russia the other, whatever. Come on. We gotta do something about this. Peacefully, Mr. Putin. Peacefully, President. I forgot the Ukrainian leader, but... But of course, if someone's invading you, you need weapons, I know, to defend yourself, right? Mr. Putin, right? So, but it's called diplomacy instead of just saying, oh, I want this and come and get it. Because you see the main part is Mary Pope, that they're really actually occupying, right? They're kind of messing around with the other stuff. Because it's one of the richest ports in the Black Sea, right? For centuries, even, right? But see, that's the point. We're merchant people. Mm-hmm. We buy and sell things. Now, we don't need a system where we're putting marks on our right hand and forehead, right? To buy or sell. Why, right? Well, you want to kill those who don't receive it. Well, murder is the ultimate sin, right? And it's why Cain murdered his brother Abel over something about not being accepted by God because of his heart, right? Being evil. Mm-hmm. But the choice was Cain's, right? To slay his brother. Mm-hmm. Over not being accepted. Now, could there be a sister involved? Probably. You gotta marry someone. And there's only Adam and Eve, I guess. Well, Satan got pregnant, like I said. Then there's a daughter of Adam and Satan, right? Whoa. She's a triple X girl. Told you that too, right? Adam only has 1 X. Satan has 2. His human side. Mm-hmm. Right. So she's the Lilith of the Bible, metaphorically speaking. And Mrs. Satan is still with Mr. Satan in the same body, right? Now, why does Ezekiel mention women cutting off their boobs or breasts, right? One is cancer, two is something else, right? It's got to trace back to Eden. When you're both, and you're supposed to nourish your own children, and you have one from with Eve and with Adam. Eve, you put it in the hole of Eve, right? And then Adam puts it in your hole and then the butthole. You're swapping, but involving the butt with Satan. He does it in the butt. Ow, sexy. There's nothing wrong if you want to do the butt. Oh, that, no. Yay, ow. As my man said. Okay. They did it in the butt. But the butt wasn't the problem. It's the condemnation of doing it in the butt. That's the problem. The problem is we're judging everything else. From sex, or to who you do it with, to ages, which I understand that one now. Gay or straight, you can't have sex with a child under the age of consent, right? In Georgia it's 16, in other states it's 18, California's 18, by the way. Georgia's 16, right? And that's the point, right? Whatever the age of consent is in your state, right? That's what you gotta go by. Now, if a 16-year-old comes to my state in Georgia, right? Even if her state says it's 18, right? Once she comes to Georgia, it's 16, right? You understand that? I'm not asking nobody to come here under 18, right? That's illegal, by the way. Without your parents' permission. You need mom and dad to say it's okay to take their car for one, or you're stealing it, child. And you cannot drive to Georgia just to have sex with me and then come back home. Just saying. Not saying you will, not saying you won't. But you're not supposed to do that, though. Now, if you're old enough, here's the point. You gotta be, unmarried, right? Or divorcing. That depends. I heard Giselle and Brady is breaking up. Sorry about that. Right. But why do you think it is? He's chasing his dream, right? But she wants him home, right? I know. Now, Taylor Swift's doing a video. Now, one of them, she looks kind of like a Katy Perry on one side and herself on the other. What's going on there? Y'all didn't swap each other, did you? I know. Well, someone did a video of me and her, and I didn't have nothing to do with it, though. And I know she knows that, right? But, when it got to a certain note in her song, it used my singing of the 5 octaves and put it in, and it fits. That's what a note is, right? It could be coincidental, right? In that I was singing the similar note to Taylor in one of her songs, and they put my vocals in instead of hers. But it's not my vocals, though. And I didn't authorize it, nor did Taylor. Right. But now, in one of those videos, especially the one with the, kind of the, Moulin Rouge scene and the, there's 2 women, right? One has black hair, kind of pale, and the other is Taylor, but are they both Taylor? What that's called is dye. What do you put in your eye if you can't see good? Contacts, right? And, then the little makeup. It's called Blanca. White, right? That's all I know about it. Anyway. So there we are. Whoops. The Bible fell. Oh no.